Who's going to build the best baristas? Who's going to get you quality coffee? Because the industry is going to be defined not by um, cheap coffee and donuts. It's going to be defined by relationships and coffee, right? Bringing those relationships so early on, I think, is very defining because you're giving an early consumer two options. You can have that franchise coffee cup, or you can have something with values. You choose. And here's why we think you should do that.
This episode is proudly brought to you by Mapper Forward's workshop. It's time to become a coffee consultant. Learn how to diversify your revenue streams and create freedom from your day job while saying goodbye to that alarm clock forever by becoming a consultant within the coffee industry or directly to consumers who have shifted towards home brewing and home roasting. Protect your income from challenging times in the coffee value chain by taking this course today. Go to mapperforward.coffee/workshops or click the link in the show notes for details. Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward, friends. I'm your host, Lee Safar, and this is episode 4 of a fantastic 5-part series with Faisal Khan from Nomad Coffee Studios in Karachi, Pakistan. And we're talking about Pakistan as an emerging coffee market. In this episode, we're going to talk about the mindset of somebody who's the first to market. And as the business owner who's really helping to sculpt and to intentionally lay out the market that is evolving in Pakistan. And I want to start this by kind of saying how much of a validation it is to somebody like you that Tim Hortons has opened in Pakistan, right? A company like that doesn't come in and say, let's just throw shit against the wall and see what sticks. They come in having done their market research, they open a beautiful place, and they know that this is where it's popping, right? You're the person who, for the 10 or so years before that, has been helping to build the first part of that innovation S-curve, where you've invested the time in making sure that this is going to have legs. What's the mindset of somebody who, let's start at this moment, where you look at that and you say, okay, we're building something that's going to have legs, or that does have legs. What's that like?
I mean, it gives you a lot of relief that your ideas and the values that you believed in and the methodology that you believed in really worked. Because from the beginning, for me, getting into business was also doing business on my terms and my way. Um, we are doing things differently. We are training people. I mean, we are a roasting company. There were no roasters in Pakistan before. And if I'm sitting with you, there's someone roasting coffee, and there's someone selling coffee, there's someone packaging coffee, there's someone servicing a client in another city for us, right? We built that. We trained those people. And so I think it's sort of a validation about, oh, the model works. So this model of listening to the market, of contextualizing your approach, of staying core to certain values of how you do business, is successful. And I think what I always believed in, because I come from a background of studying culture and social change, that, yeah, you have the ability to shift culture. And that's a very strong statement, because if you have the ability to do that, then we can go towards what the challenges some of our farmers are going through and start highlighting that, right? And so if we can choose to do coffee or start coffee our way, let's say in the frontier of coffee, we can also build an industry our way, and build relationships our way. And I think looking at the start of this year, which is going to be a difficult year, but for us, it's going to be a very special year, I think, because of the relationships we've built in coffee, with Felipe in Brazil, and with Colombia. We started a new relationship in Indonesia. I'm talking to great people in Guatemala and so forth. And having that as an industry is a privilege, even if I was an outsider so early on, right? And to say that, hey, we can have great commercial or franchise coffee, but who's really building the top of the pyramid? Who's going to build the best baristas? Who's going to get you quality coffee? Because the industry is going to be defined not by cheap coffee and donuts. It's going to be defined by relationships in coffee, right? Bringing those relationships so early on, I think, is very defining, because you're giving an early consumer two options. You can have that franchise coffee cup, or you can have something with values. You choose. And here's why we think you should do that. Um, and and we're persistent, right? I mean, we've already proven that. We don't know about the other guy. Right? We did it during COVID. We did it in severe economic stress. We did it when the roof was falling on our head. So it's very hard for to put us down. So I think the independent coffee shop is going to be the future of the industry in Pakistan. I think I see that as a cultural thing, and I think I fully support that. I think that brings out a whole sort of baggage of creative people, designers, photographers, architects, even contractors, landlords, real estate agents, as you say, conspiring to build a business, as opposed to someone dictating you how you should design your coffee, how you should manufacture it, product it, and pushing things. And I think it's for the consumers to decide, but I think I'm pretty sure the defining identity of the coffee market in Pakistan will be independent coffee brands. Yeah.
And what are you as the person, because I love everything you've just said. It really goes to the heart of like our core mission at Mapper Forward is conspiring to each other's success. As the person who had the vision for all of this, when you look at this, what's the messaging? We've got Tim Hortons giving all. Wait, let me take a step back. Nescafe came into this market and were building cafes, and they did not succeed. That's a part of this story that people haven't heard yet. And so they came in, they did not succeed, and they were building all these fancy cafes with studios attached. They were building them with, I think, a whole bunch of, like, all these cafes had things attached to them. And it did not work. Tim Hortons has come in after you validated that there was going to be an industry, and they've created a new kind of, the commercial market. The thing that I would like to know is what we did that wasn't correct, I believe, in the West, is that we allowed the Tim Hortons and the Nescafes and the McCafes and the Starbucks and all of those guys to set the tone of what the brand of coffee is to the consumer. What I'm hearing you say is that the future is the independent cafe. How is your mindset about making sure that the end consumer understands that the neighborhood cafe, the craft cafe, the artisan cafe that's owned by an independent is the place that is for them?
Um, uh, I think a number of things. The consumer today uh, is very different, and I think the people investing in franchise experiences are completely disconnected with the consumer. If and I am a consumer and I talk to them every day. I mean, you have to understand Nomad Coffee Studio started as an e-commerce business. So even today, whatever we do in the B2B market, we get orders, people for people brewing coffee at home. And we've been doing that for 7, 8 years now.
Right.
In a month, right? So we were doing that and there were 2 orders. I've done deliveries, I've gotten delivery tips, and I've
That's
packaged
so
orders,
cute.
right?
How much do they tip you? Do they
Not enough.
do they think that you're just the driver and they don't realize you're the actual like guy
It was
that's
actually a regular who came in and tipped me, and it was
oh
chain.
bless. Did you
Uh,
giggle?
and I took it.
You took it. That's so great. You didn't want to make him feel uncomfortable, did you?
Yeah.
I love it. You took it.
Um, so the so 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 the consumer today, why are they going to coffee shop, right? Obviously, as I said earlier, a coffee shop has an impact upon the social infrastructure of a city. And these are cities in creation, right? We're going through a lot of transition, a lot of rural urban transition, and a lot of lifestyle changes, and that's happening globally, but definitely in developing countries. And so, a consumer today, what they drink, so the young people under 30, how they drink it, where they drink it, where they want to see really matters. And knowing the coffee shop owner, being able to have uh, um, drop coffee in the morning, Luna coffee in the afternoon, and meeting up at the third coffee shop is a thing, is how they
Right.
operate, right?
So you create a completely
And
different experience than what the Tim Hortons. So it's a different
yeah,
almost culture.
yeah, and the ability that not all your coffee shops have to have the same aesthetic, right? So you're able to grab so much, and you're able to evolve. I think the manufactured cookie cutter coffee shops are going to be a step in the journey of creating a lot of consumers, just like Nescafe and instant coffee is great for us, but they're not going to be the last step. They're not going to be very fine quality coffee. Uh, and it's going to happen faster than we think, because the number of experiments also means the number of lessons learned, right? And so I think fourth, fifth year in sort of this fast expansion, uh, I think there are serious entrepreneurs in the business who want to grow, who want to build local national brands. Uh, and I think they will be able to do that. And I think they don't need a foreign brand, because the model just doesn't work. I mean, once you've had freshly roasted coffee, specialty or otherwise, it's fresh, it's roasted locally, it's made by a barista who is familiar with you, who remembers your name, um, and who's sort of campaigning for different seasons and events and engaging you in different ways. That's just more impactful, and that's just the demographic.
And that's happened.
I honestly think if you look at the investors behind the big franchises, you'll be like, oh yeah, this is not gonna work.
Right. Well, and
Yeah,
what you're saying is how the Blue Tokais and the Subcos of the world happened, right?
yeah, yeah.
It's
Passionate entrepreneurs who have passionate customers, right?
exactly. And they have a vision and they're not prepared to sell out of that vision. They're going to build with sustainability. They're going to be very aware of their surroundings and where they want to get to. But then something like 2024 and 2025 happens. And so I want to talk to you about your mindset around how you look at the vision that you have for this market and for the people who you're setting an example for and that you're mentoring. How do you approach from a mindset perspective what's happening, let's say even just in the last 48 hours? And to be specific, folks, the C market closed at 368 or 369 yesterday. What does that do to you as the person who, in Pakistan, your customers are really relying on you to understand all that stuff and take care of the supply chain? That's a burden.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then that's a burden we took upon ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Because to say we're building pathways towards quality coffee, where is the coffee, right? Is coffee going to be available, and is it going to be quality? So which means what is the best way that we can build those relationships? So obviously, like many other people, we start working through green importers, but as we learned and jumped the loopholes of regulations and logistics in Pakistan and the region, we started working with producers directly. And this year, the goal is to exponentially increase that and work directly with producers and similar uh, uh, enablers who can help us connect with producers, where we have direct relationships for the Pakistani market, where people who have a stake who want to build the market with Nomad in Pakistan. And then I think that's what's significant, that producers who come in at this stage and want to take the risk of engaging with us also get the benefit of building this market with us, of understanding the consumer. I mean, I had a great conversation on Hill this week, and it was so spot on, because it was about, look, here's the problem I'm having, because it's not about the coffee. I need coffee for this brewing solution. And he got it right away, right? Because he had done something similar. And he emailed me, and I was like, yeah, I can buy more coffee if it does that, right?
Right.
It's not a cupping score. It's a purposeful use to diversify the product line for my customers, because they don't even know why they need it, but I know they're going to need it. And the more
You're
reliable
solving a
I can
problem.
get that, right? Because that's thinking far ahead, right? It's not that here's the coolest, rarest geisha, and you're never going to find it, but what are they going to do with it? How are they going
Yeah.
to sell it? How are they going to develop products? Do they have time to develop products when they just starting the business for the first time? Um, and so we have to do that work, and so we are doing that work, building that relationship and with you, and it's a privilege that we're going to have to work with some great people, because we're selecting people who have similar values like Nomad, who are in the long run, who want for the farmer to succeed, who wants for the barista to succeed, and it's a, as I call it, a people's industry. We have to fix the people problem. The people should thrive, and then the coffee is a byproduct, and we all are happy consuming it. But we cannot consume a lot of coffee while a lot of people are suffering. Um,
And we don't want to. We shouldn't want to do that, right?
Yeah, and I think that consciousness is very important. I mean, even if you look at the Palestinian crisis, um, it had, I mean, a lot of the brands had a really tough time. So in Pakistan, and I'm sure in the Middle East,
100%.
And I think that those changes are for the long run, and those brands are scared, and the local brands have now a chip on the shoulder that, oh, okay, we're going to be getting the chance. Um, and I think this is an opportunity to think about things and revalue things. And I think the margins of the industry are a great place to do that because the rules don't.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have baggage. We don't have umbrellas. We don't have 10 curators lined up to tell us how you should cup and how you should do that and how you shouldn't do that, right? So we can really explore and find coffee that's good for us, that we can find each year, that we can afford. Find people who are going to provide that for the next 2 decades. And find meaningful people here who want to take care of the people who are going to run their businesses because the entrepreneur doesn't run the business. Um, so so you're going to have to make sure you're taking care of the people who are going to run your businesses. And how are you going to do that? Do you have the skill set? Do you have the mindset? Do you have the intentionality that a barista is a career? And a barista has to get married, build a home, and also run your business, right? They're not going to be baristas for 40 years.
No.
Right?
They're going to evolve into another position.
Have you enabled them to get secondary skills? Have you even thought about that? Do you think it's your responsibility to do that? That's a big one, right? And I think I really like asking these difficult questions because it's a very young industry of young people. Obviously, it has a lot of privileged people. Coffee is something not for the masses, right? It's a luxury here. But I think those are very good questions to ask. Because if you're supporting the Palestinian cause, or if you're supporting other causes, what about the cause of coffee, right? And to do that, you just have to look around in the front and back of your business and see what you could do better. And also look behind and look how our elders maybe didn't do the things right, right? There's been, and especially in Pakistan, I say that a lot, but there's very trader mentality. You know, we don't manufacture anything. We don't make things, or everything. It hasn't done well for us. But if you're in a long run, you're not a trader, you're building a business. And so you're not transaction. And most of the benefit is not going to be to you.
You and I talk about this all the time. You're planting a tree that you're not going to be the person to sit under.
Yeah. As you say. Yeah, exactly. So do you have the heart and guts to do that? I think Pakistan is a very special place to special people. I love the consumers who drink coffee. I think they've supported us in this long journey. We've made mistakes. They're not perfect. We're still learning. But it must be because of our values and that we still exist today. Um, and I think there are many others like us who maybe need to speak about their values and maybe attach it um, to how they project their businesses and talk about their businesses. So that uh, putting that at the forefront, I think, should not be something that we should be embarrassed about. Yeah.
On that note, I mean, I can't say anything other than in the next episode, what does the future of Pakistan, the Pakistani coffee industry look like? And folks, after everything you just heard, I hope that you really think about where you're positioned in your local market and think about the way that Faisal just talked about his mindset as an owner. And I think it really demonstrates that we can all do better and that we can all be more intentional about the way that we're building the tree that we're not going to be able to sit under. Join us for the next episode. Peace, love, and peanut butter. Have an amazing rest of your day. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, friends. Please don't forget to show us some love by subscribing, liking, commenting, and most of all, sharing this podcast with your friends. Check the show notes for links, including our sponsors and our Patreon. And stay tuned for more great conversations on the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward.